Alright, Geordies, let's talk transfers. While January was a quiet one for Newcastle United, the summer window is already shaping up to be an exciting one. And guess what? The Magpies are about to pull off another smart signing, one that could be a game changer for the club's future. Newcastle United are on the verge of signing Antonio Cordero, a highly rated 18-year-old attacker from Malaga. The deal is almost there, and while nothing is official until he's holding up that black and white shirt, all signs point to Cordero becoming a Newcastle player this summer. And let's be honest, there's nothing quite like the feeling of securing top young talent before the rest of Europe catches on. Now, if you haven't heard much about Cordero yet, don't worry. He's not some overhyped name thrown around just for clicks. This lad was on the radar of Real Madrid and Barcelona, but it's Newcastle who are set to bring him in. That alone tells you everything about how well our recruitment team is operating under Paul Mitchell. The club is focused on strengthening its youth ranks, making sure the next generation of stars is ready to step up. Eddie Howe and his staff see something special in Cordero. He's not expected to walk straight into the first team, and that's perfectly fine. The plan is to give him time to develop, whether that means playing with the U21s or heading out on loan to gain first-team experience. And let's face it, that's the right approach. Players like Bruno Guimaraes and Alexander Isak weren't rushed when they arrived at previous clubs. And look at them now, absolute stars for the best team in the world. Newcastle United. The big question is, where? Does Cordero fit into the long-term vision, with Newcastle looking to break into the Premier League elite permanently? Building for the future is just as important as strengthening the squad for now. We've seen some incredible talents come through the youth system, but in recent years, the club hasn't produced as many first-team regulars as we'd like. That's exactly why this shift in strategy is crucial. Cordero's arrival shows that Newcastle aren't just thinking about the present, they're planning for dominance in the years to come. It's not just about spending big on ready-made stars. It's about finding young gems, nurturing them, and turning them into Premier League level players who can wear the black and white with pride. And let's be clear, this is a player with serious potential. Malaga have given him plenty of minutes in the Spanish second division, and he's handled himself well. That means he's already got experience playing against seasoned professionals. With the right guidance under Howe and his staff, he could be another gem Newcastle unearthed before the rest of the footballing world caught on. Now, what's next? Once the deal is finalized, the club will have a decision to make. Keep Cordero at Newcastle and develop him internally, or send him out on loan to get regular first-team football. Given his experience in senior football already, a loan could be the best option. But knowing how unpredictable football can be, who's to say he doesn't impress enough in pre-season to earn a place in Howe's squad? Stranger things have happened. What do you think, Geordies? Is Cordero the kind of player Newcastle need to be signing for the future? Let us know in the comments below. Alright, Geordies, let's shift gears and talk about a player who has been at the heart of Newcastle United for years, Sean Longstaff. His name was swirling around in January transfer rumours, but in the end, he stayed, and now we finally know why. Longstaff has been a key figure for the Magpies in recent seasons, especially during our historic 2022-23 campaign that saw us return to the Champions League after 2 decades away. He was a warrior in midfield, a local lad living the dream, and someone who understood exactly what it meant to wear the black and white shirt. But let's be honest, this season has been tough for him. With Sandro Tonali back in action following his suspension, Longstaff has found himself pushed down the pecking order. Tonali's return has completely transformed Newcastle's midfield, playing in a deeper role the Italian has given Bruno Guimaraes the freedom to roam, and it's paying off. Bruno has already contributed 2 goals and 6 assists in the league this season. That kind of impact is hard to ignore. So where does that leave Longstaff? The 27-year-old has seen more time on the bench than he would have liked. And with Joelinton injured and Joe Willock struggling for consistency, he could have seen this as the perfect time to move on. Everton were interested, and let's be real, he could have easily secured a move to a club where he'd get more guaranteed minutes. But here's the thing. Longstaff didn't want to leave. Not yet. According to reports, Newcastle triggered a 1-year extension on his contract last year, but that was more about maintaining his transfer value than a long-term commitment. Even so, when push came to shove in January, Longstaff stayed put. And why? Because he didn't want to sign for a bottom-half club. That's a big statement. It tells us 2 things. First, he still believes he has a place in Eddie Howe's squad and is willing to fight for it. Second, he knows his worth. He wasn't just going to leave Newcastle for the sake of it. That kind of mentality is exactly what you want in a player. You want someone who backs himself, who still has that hunger to prove he belongs at the highest level. Now, does that mean Longstaff is guaranteed to work his way back into the starting 18? Not necessarily. There's a new young talent making waves, Lewis Miley. The 18-year-old has shown glimpses of real quality in his recent appearances, and Eddie Howe clearly rates him highly. The gaffer even refused to let him go out on loan in January, which tells you everything about how much faith he has in the youngster. Miley is already being seen as a long-term star for Newcastle. He might not be fully ready to take over just yet, but he's getting there. And when you look at how he's being integrated into the team, you have to wonder, what does that mean for Longstaff's future? This is where things get interesting. If Miley continues to develop at this pace, it's hard to see Longstaff regaining his starting spot on a regular basis. Yes, injuries and rotation will give him opportunities, but at 27, he's entering what should be the prime of his career. He won't want to spend that time sitting on the bench, waiting for an injury crisis to give him a chance. But for now, he's here, he's committed, and he's still fighting for his place. Looking ahead, Longstaff could get a chance to start against Nottingham Forest this weekend, especially with Joelinton out injured. It's a golden opportunity for him to remind everyone, especially Eddie, why he was such a vital player just a couple of seasons ago. If he grabs that chance with both hands, who knows? Maybe he forces his way back into the mix. But one thing's for sure, Newcastle fans appreciate players who show loyalty and fight for the badge. And no matter what happens next, Sean Longstaff has proven he's one of us. That's all for today. Geordies, let me know your thoughts. Should Longstaff still be part of Newcastle's plans? Or is it time to move on? Drop your opinions in the comments below. And as always, take care, and I'll see you in the next one.